The world is full of amazing people, but some truly stand out for their unique features. From rare physical traits to weird conditions, each story will make you try not to gasp, wondering how God creates such surprises. Some of these people have features that defy expectations, and some have talents that feel almost unreal. These are the 15 most unusual people who actually exist. Number 15. Andriotti. For years, Andriotti carried 30 kilograms of tumors wrapped around his body like a punishment he never asked for. He was born with neurofibromatosis, which is a pretty brutal genetic disorder that triggered massive tumor growth along his nerves. By his late 30s, walking became almost impossible. Every step came with hellish pain. Living in Medan, Indonesia, he quietly fought through life. Until 2020, when a documentary about him went viral. That moment changed everything. A local hospital, named Acuplast, saw the video and offered to perform the life-saving surgery he could never afford. Before that, it was never an option. Suddenly it was real. But real doesn't mean safe. The procedure was risky, terrifying, and unlike anything he'd ever faced. For the first time, he had hope and fear in the same room. And here's the truth. We don't know what happened after. Nothing since. Silence. As of 2025, no one's heard a word. But we remember him. And sometimes, remembering is the loudest kind of respect. Number 14. Lucy and Zoe. Lucy and Zoe aren't just twins. They're survivors of something so rare it sounds totally unreal: fibrodysplasia ossificans progressiva, a condition where your muscles literally turn into bone. Slowly, painfully, your body locks into place like it's fossilizing while you're still alive. The twins, now 34, are one of only 3 twin pairs in the world with this condition. Diagnosed at 8, their childhood was filled with restrictions. But not regret. They laughed, they loved, they lived. Now an adult, the disease has progressed. Zoe needs a walker. Some days movement feels like a luxury, but they face it together. They share the same fate, but more importantly, they share every emotion without needing to speak it. Their Instagram tells stories of strength, humor, and the moments in between. They don't know what tomorrow holds. FOP doesn't offer predictions, but they know this: life is meant to be lived now. Lucy once said, "All we can do is love life and live life." Number 13. Victor Padilla. Victor was just a kid, 11 years old, when his face began to swell with something even doctors struggled to understand. It was Cloves syndrome, a condition so rare, only a few hundred people worldwide carry it. For Victor, that meant tumors, vascular malformations, and the right side of his face growing at a pace nothing could stop. But here's what no illness could touch: his spirit. Victor still went to school in Rochester. He smiled, he played, he made progress. His parents, Jennifer and Jerry, stayed by his side, proud of every inch he fought for. But the story ends there. That was 8 years ago. Since then, nothing. There are no updates or headlines. Just a boy with a rare condition and a quiet trail of hope behind him. We don't know where Victor is today, but we know what he stood for. Strength with no spotlight. Bravery without applause. Sometimes the loudest warriors don't roar. They just show up, swollen face and all. Number 12. Abra Nevs. Abra lives near Manaus, and every morning he wakes up to a mirror that doesn't play fair. Born with arteriovenous malformation, or AVM, a tangled web of blood vessels that multiplied like wildfire, his face became the battleground. Misdiagnosed early on, the condition left him with a massive, disfiguring growth that bleeds often and puts his life at risk. He's described his reflection as something out of a horror movie, not for drama, but because it's the truth. Eventually, Abra found hope in Sao Paulo, where he's undergone 6 major surgeries so far. He's still fundraising to cover the rest, weighing the risks of what's left versus what's livable. But while doctors work slowly, music moves fast. That's his outlet, his escape. He throws himself into it with everything he has. As of now, little else is known about him. But when you've lived this much pain and still managed to sing, that says more than any headline ever could. Number 11. Alejandro. Alejandro was born in Sonora with harlequin ichthyosis, which wraps your body in peeling, cracking, painful skin that never takes a day off. His hands were deformed. His skin sheds constantly. Without daily baths and layers of special cream, simple movements feel impossible. But Alejandro lives loudly. Growing up, people avoided him, saying that he had some creepy disease. They didn't understand. They didn't ask. He didn't wait for them to. In 2020, Alejandro started posting on TikTok. At first, just to raise awareness. But his message hit hard. Today, he's built a following of over 680,000 people. Some cheer, some criticize. Alejandro doesn't care. If you left a comment, good or bad, I got your attention, he said. And that was always the goal. He's not asking to be fixed. He's showing what strength looks like when you're born into pain and still choose joy. Not once, not sometimes, every single day. He doesn't just survive, he owns it. Number 10. Jacqueline Rodriguez. This beautiful girl from California came into the world with lymphatic malformations, a condition that affects her cheeks, tongue, and chest. Doctors didn't think she'd make it past infancy, but she had other plans. Just 3 days old, and she was already in surgery, removing tumors near her throat that made swallowing impossible. Those growths never really stopped, so she lives with constant care and watchful eyes. She's fed through a tube and uses an iPad to speak. Her condition limits her voice, but not her spirit. Jacqueline plays guitar, hits the tennis court, and dreams of becoming a nurse. Stanford is her goal. Out in the world, she faces stares, rude remarks, and assumptions. But she doesn't let any of it write her story. She's more than a diagnosis. Way more. Jacqueline moves through life quietly but fiercely, holding on to her dreams, her talent, and a future that stretches far beyond what anyone thought was possible. Number 9. Marky Jaquez. For Marky, life hasn't been anything close to kind. At 19, he's living with epidermolysis bullosa, a condition so brutal it took his older brother's life before it could finish tearing into his. EB affects every inch of his skin, outside and in. His mouth, eyes, and even his internal organs are at risk. One wrong touch, and his skin blisters or tears. It's constant pain, constant risk. But if you met him, you'd never guess. Somehow, Marky holds on to a kind of hope that most people can't imagine. He wants to inspire, not with cliches or sugar-coated words, but by simply living and smiling when it hurts most. We don't know much more about him today. His world is quiet, private, but that silence speaks volumes. Marky doesn't need to say a lot. Just surviving each day in that body with that past and still choosing joy. That's the kind of power, no disease. Number 8. John Chris Quirante. JC was born in the Philippines with a mouth crowded by more than 300 teeth. It's called hyperdontia, but for him it was pain, swelling, and a daily struggle to chew, speak, or smile without discomfort. By age 9, his case had caught attention far beyond his small town. Surgeons removed 40 teeth in one go, and that was only round 1. He still faces at least 7 more surgeries to remove the rest and align his bite. But through it all, JC kept showing up to school. He wants to be a civil engineer someday, doesn't hide, doesn't complain. Even though I'm different, I want to make a difference, he once said, and meant it. Most kids would fold under that kind of spotlight. JC kept his chin up. This isn't just a story about extra teeth. It's about extraordinary strength. He's not waiting for normal to show up. He's building a future, piece by piece. Number 7. Nathan. Nathan was born in Orlando with a rare, undiagnosed craniofacial condition that left one side of his face completely undeveloped. No eye, no ear, no nose. No diagnosis, no blueprint, just a long road ahead. Since birth, he's undergone 37 surgeries and over $1 million in reconstructive work. Surgeons built a nose, placed a prosthetic eye, and shaped an ear from scratch. But Nathan's story isn't about what doctors fixed. It's about what he built for himself. He chose to face the world directly, never hiding from stares or silence. Through public speaking and advocacy, he turns discomfort into awareness. He confronts perception with honesty and challenges the idea that beauty belongs to symmetry. Every word he speaks carries weight because it's been earned. His face may have been partially rebuilt, but his courage never needed construction. Nathan isn't asking for acceptance. He's out here creating space for people who were never given one. And that might be his most powerful feature. Number 6. Jam Presley. Last time Jam showed up on Born Different, she was learning how to walk again. Now, she's living. Born with lymphedema distichiasis syndrome, Jam spent years trapped in a body that fought back. Her leg swelled to 150 pounds after a brutal infection, pinning her to a bed for nearly 4 years. But after a life-altering surgery, everything started changing. It's been 3 years since that chapter. She's met Tim, her partner in crime. She watched her sister Jasmine walk down the aisle. She turned 30. She's planning a photo shoot. Jam says her confidence has grown, and now she's stepping into the world eager to inspire. No more hiding behind swollen limbs or pity-filled glances. Jam walks now. And not just physically. She walks through life with a presence that fills every room. Her condition didn't vanish, but her fear did. And that's the kind of progress no surgeon can stitch together. That comes from within, and Jam's got plenty. Number 5. Adam Pearson. Adam was 5 when a bump on his head refused to go away. Doctors told him it was NF type 1, a genetic disorder that causes tumors to grow along nerves. His twin brother didn't get it. But Adam? His face began to change. Over 39 surgeries later, one of his eyes is blind. Some tumors can't be removed, it's too dangerous. But he never tried to disappear. He stepped into the spotlight. He acted in Under the Skin with Scarlett Johansson, starred in Chained for Life, filmed A Different Man in 2024. And when the cameras weren't rolling, he made documentaries, Freak Show, The Ugly Face of Disability Hate Crime, to confront the world's nastiest truths. Adam doesn't sugarcoat anything. He doesn't let you look away. He forces society to rethink beauty, dignity, and what it means to be normal. And no, he doesn't need your pity. He's not some sad footnote. He's the headline, the story, the whole damn point. Number 4. Buddy. Buddy lives with something so rare it barely exists in medical books. Nablus mask-like facial syndrome, a condition that quite literally shapes the face into a tight, mask-like appearance. His eyes, ears, skin, even fingers are affected. It's not just visual. It impacts how he moves, speaks, and interacts with the world. Caused by a tiny microdeletion on chromosome 8q22.1, the syndrome has fewer than 15 known cases worldwide. But numbers don't define him. Buddy handles life with calm resilience. Simple things, eating, dressing, even facial expression, take extra effort, but he moves through it all without complaint. His features may draw attention, but it's his personality people remember. He doesn't need a spotlight or speeches. His quiet strength says enough. While others define strength with volume or muscle, Buddy shows that real courage sometimes walks softly. He doesn't need to change how he looks to prove anything. Number 3. Lynn Dvau. For most of her childhood, Lynn's face wasn't really hers. A tumor, massive and growing, took over the left side, twisting her jaw, pulling at her gums, even pressing against her eye. It all started as a birthmark. Nothing alarming. But she lived deep in rural Vietnam, and medical care was out of reach. The tumor grew, and with it came pain, stares, and cruel whispers. Kids mocked her. Adults pitied her. Then came Kim Tien Truong, a former refugee turned real-life miracle. He raised $40,000 and flew Lynn and her mother to Australia. At Monash Children's Hospital, doctors worked for 8 hours to remove the tumor. She bled so much they had to pause mid-surgery. But she pulled through. She lived. And she smiled. Skin grafts and surgeries still lie ahead. But Lynn's no longer hiding behind a tumor. She's laughing again, looking ahead. All because a stranger believed she deserved better and moved heaven and earth to prove it. Number 2. Bobby Joe Wesley. Bobby isn't trying to fit in. She's trying to set a record, and she might just get there. At just over 5 feet 2 inches, her hips measure close to 95 inches, chasing a world record only 4 inches away. From York, Pennsylvania, she embraces her size without apology, calling her curves what makes me, me. But this path isn't without weight, literal or emotional. Doctors have warned her. The strain on her body could turn fatal. Daily life is already a challenge. Stairs, doorways, even walking come with risk. She once weighed over 540 pounds and pointed to thyroid problems as a cause, though many question that. But this isn't about a medical debate. It's about a woman making a bold statement in her own body. Bobby knows the dangers. She's heard the critics, but she keeps pushing. Her story walks the tightrope between personal freedom and physical risk, and she walks it in her own way. Number 1. Zion Harvey. Zion was barely 2 when a brutal infection turned his world inside out. Sepsis hit hard, forcing doctors to amputate both his hands and feet just to save his life. And as if that wasn't enough, he later needed a kidney transplant, donated by his fearless mother. Most kids would have crumbled. Zion adapted. He learned to write, feed himself, play video games, and run with prosthetic feet. But at 8, he did something no child ever had. In 2015, a 40-person surgical team in Philadelphia spent 10 hours attaching donor hands to his arms. A few days later, those hands flushed pink. Blood was flowing. Through months of therapy, Zion slowly relearned how to tie his shoes, eat, and even toss a baseball. His brain reconnected with his new limbs, like it had always known them. And Zion? He just smiled and said, "I'm still the same kid. I just have hands now, and I can do everything better. That's not luck. That's a miracle with grit." If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.